which is pulling. Okay? Pulling is where you start to get your height, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my finger and I'm gonna create a little groove in the bottom. And the whole objective to pulling is to take the clay and to bring it up to the top right here. So that then I will have a nice straight surface to shape and mold however I want. So I'm just gonna take this, I'm gonna take my fingers, I'm gonna support the inside of the clay. Okay, I'm not putting any pressure with this hand at all. All it is a support. Okay, now I'm gonna take this finger and I'm gonna use it like I'm pointing. I always have my sponge in this hand. So I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna curl it, and then I'm gonna push my thumb against that finger. Okay, so now the finger's supported. I've got a nice straight hand here. I'm gonna support the inside and I'm gonna turn this knuckle all the way down straight to the bat. And then I'm gonna put this thumb right here so that they move in unison together. I'm gonna take this, put pressure on that outside edge, and I'm slowly bringing that edge up. My wheel is kind of going at a faster pace and my hands are going slow. And then I have that edge all the way up at the top. Okay? And then pulling is all about repeating that process over and over until you get that thickness from the bottom up to the top. Okay. Here's my second pull. Again, I'm creating a little groove on the side. I'm gonna clean up that edge. Okay, create a little groove. Have my supporting hand on the inside, this one on the outside. And as I'm pulling, once I start feeling that clay kind of grab a little bit, I just squeeze my sponge. Okay. As I'm getting to the top now, because that outside is a little thin, I'm relieving the pressure just a little bit. Okay. So all that pressure is on the bottom. And then once I get about here, I relieve the pressure and just pull up my hands. And always finish the pull, because you get these little pieces of clay that come off into your hand, and you don't want them to get stuck halfway onto your pot. So you always want to finish the pull. See, if I didn't finish that, that might have gotten stuck onto the side. Okay, I'm getting to the point now where it's kind of hard for my thumb to touch my hand because the pot is so high that it's hitting this part of my hand. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my thumb and tuck it in. And now I have to just kind of feel where my hands are on both sides, so I don't, that. Because if I were to stick my thumb over that, what that does is it presses it down and it doesn't allow for the pot to rise. So it kind of defeats the entire purpose of pulling. And I want to show you too. So if I were to put any pressure on the inside of this as I'm pulling, you can always tell if you're not supporting the inner wall well enough, or if you're supporting it too much, right? If I weren't to support the wall on the inside, what would happen is my walls would shrink and go in. We don't want that. But if I were to support it too much, I'll show you here, what happens is your walls start to come out. And we'll do it where I'm pushing the inner wall too much. You'll see what happened is it starts to come out. You don't want that. Let me get the outside wet. And I'm gonna do something called collaring. And what this does is it brings that clay back in together. Okay, so if you're accidentally putting a lot of pressure on that outer wall and the inner wall, excuse me, it'll start to fan out. And one way to fix that is to collar it in which again I have my sponge. It's got water in it. And I'm going to add pressure to the outside. I'm just going to slowly bring my hands up. And that's the end to step 3.